When a person suddenly comes into an enormous amount of money, the world expects their life to get better. But for some, that fortune becomes a curse, a responsibility they were never prepared for, a door that opens not to happiness but to destruction. This is the tragic story of Andrew Jack Whitaker, a man who won one of the biggest lottery jackpots in American history and lost everything that truly mattered. Jack Whitaker wasn't a desperate man hoping for a miracle. He already had the American dream. In Putnam County, West Virginia, Jack owned a successful construction company, Diversified Enterprises. He lived in a beautiful home, drove luxury cars, and had a net worth of around $17 million. He didn't need saving. He had already built a life most people only dream of, but all of that was about to change forever. Christmas 2002. The winning ticket. On a cold December morning in 2002, 55-year-old Jack stopped at a small convenience store for breakfast. He casually picked up a quick-pick Powerball ticket, something he bought only once in a while. What he didn't know was that the jackpot had soared to $314 million, one of the largest ever at the time. The next morning, at 5:15 a.m., Jack turned on his TV and watched the winning numbers appear, one by one. They all matched. He hadn't just won, he had won everything. After taxes, Jack chose the lump sum payout of $113 million. Overnight, he became one of the richest men in America, and that's when the downfall began. At first, Jack promised he would stay grounded. He told reporters the money wouldn't change him, but it did. He donated to churches. He gave generously to his community. He spoiled his granddaughter, Brandy, the love of his life, with a brand new sports car and more cash than any teenager could handle. But soon, the generosity turned reckless. Casinos, cash, and carelessness. Jack started spending money like it was limitless. One of his first grand gestures was toward the cashier who sold him the winning ticket. Brenda, he bought her a $500,000 house, a car, and handed her cash, just as a thank you. But his spending didn't stop there. He pledged 10% of his winnings to charity. Then he created the Jack Whitaker Foundation and poured millions into it. And then Jack found the casinos. He became a regular, walking in with stacks of $100 bills. Some nights he gambled away $50,000 to $100,000, sometimes even more. Casino employees said they had never seen someone burn through money so fast. Lawsuits soon followed. Business partners, casino owners, strangers claiming he owed them money. Jack couldn't keep track of who he loaned cash to or who he trusted. His life was spinning out of control. Scammers, theft, and no boundaries. One night, Jack took $550,000 in a briefcase to a casino. He left it in his car. Thieves smashed the window and stole the entire thing. When officers asked why he'd leave $500,000 unattended, Jack simply said, "I've got plenty of money." But he didn't realize how quickly that money was disappearing. Scammers lined up at his door with heartbreaking stories, almost all of them fake. Jack handed out thousands without a second thought. And worst of all, the money tore apart the person he loved most, Brandy, the tragedy that broke him. Brandy fell into the wrong crowd. Drugs, manipulation, friends who used her as a walking ATM, and Jack, blinded by love, kept giving her more money, more freedom, more ways to destroy herself. Then the unimaginable happened. On December 20th, 2004, Brandy was found dead. Traces of cocaine were discovered in her system. Jack had lost the person he cared for more than anyone. And now, the money that had fueled his downfall had taken his granddaughter too. Loss after loss. The tragedies didn't stop. In 2009, Jack's daughter died from illness, another devastating blow. His wife, Jewel, left him after 42 years of marriage. She later said, "Before winning the lottery, we were a happy family. That money destroyed our lives. I wish I had torn up that ticket," and she meant it. Final years alone and broken. In 2016, Jack's home burned to the ground. He had never bothered to insure it. He thought he didn't need to. By that time, most of his fortune was already gone. Jack Whitaker, once one of America's richest men, died on the 27th of June, 2020. A man remembered not for his wealth, but for how quickly it destroyed his life. He won over $100 million, but he lost far more than money. Addiction, bad decisions, blind generosity, and the crushing weight of sudden fortune turned his life into one of the most tragic lottery stories in American history. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you is getting everything you ever wanted. His story reminds us that fortune can fill your pockets, but it can also empty your soul. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.